Generally, what could go wrong?
Would you stand fucking back?
So, welcome back, guys, to the Bear Podcast Show, episode 18, with me, Sean Scullion, aka the Handsome Stranger, and Owen Mallon, aka the Bear. Owen,
In house,
sunny Spain.
we're on
This is
tour.
a wee bit different.
We're on tour.
It's a wee bit different.
I could get used to this.
I don't know, it feels a bit weird sitting across the table from you like this here. It's like we're on a first date. Get away.
Be comfortable with, Sean. Be comfortable with. So, guys, for you that are only listening and not watching, we are live to you from the port of Fuengirola. We are out on tour in Spain, and this pod is just us chatting the shit. We're going to give you the tips of how to travel. Absolutely boss it.
Boss it.
How are you feeling today, Sean?
I'm not going to lie. We started off, or the plan was we're going to go to Starbucks, jot down a lot of notes on how we're going to set this whole thing up for the day, and then went to Starbucks and you weren't there.
So,
Where'd I find you?
let's put it in a different way. Sean said to me, right on, we're heading away. Let's, we'll have a meeting in Starbucks at the airport. We'll jot down a few ideas of stuff we're going to do, content we're going to do. And I can remember him talking us all through, and I was thinking to myself, I will fucking see you in the Lagan Bar, Sean. So Sean came and looked at me yesterday, and sure enough, the flight was delayed for 40 minutes. So we had
One extra pint.
a very successful meeting, and Sean hit her hard. For the man that was telling me all day yesterday, let's take this serious, you hit her hard.
Whoa.
You hit it hard.
Whoa.
I looked across and
Right.
you're on the Johnny Walker.
Right. that was on the plane.
It
It was one, right?
I seen two.
But as the night went on, I started sipping on an old bottle of water. And what did you do?
I sipped on a very clear fluid as well.
Oh, what was that?
Smirnoff.
The old vods.
It was loose.
So I
was
was
loose
the
as a goose
sensible
last
one.
night.
I was a sensible one.
So we had a bit of crack last night.
A couple of games of pool.
Couple of games of pool. Oh. Do we talk about the bat?
100%.
So we've security with us
Yeah.
in the form of Patrick and Aidan. So for you guys that are just watching here, we decided last night we would play a tournament of pool, and the loser, what was the forfeit, Sean?
Yeah, mind something about wearing something pink.
The loser has to wear a thong out tonight. And I know I'm good at pool, so I knew I was all right.
well, I'm good at pool as well, but
Aidan beat you.
I know, aye. Default though.
You potted the white
By
on the
default.
back. So, Patrick, stay tuned. We'll.
Oh, that's why. Before we come down here, was trying to book a flight home early. I think that's so he didn't have to wear the thong tonight.
And he has to go up to the bar and let people know that he's got it. So he has to pull it up above the trousers.
Tying shoes,
Jesus
Down.
Christ.
tying the shoes.
Jesus Christ, that's not going to look good.
Hey, but we'll document it all.
The
We'll
weirdest.
get it on film.
But the weirdest thing was when I says to him, right, a bat's a bat, Patrick, we need to go and get you a thong here. And he says, no, I've got one with me. So, no, look, guys, a couple of wee hacks taught you, Sean. Taught you when
Life
you're
hacks?
traveling. Life hacks. When you're booking your flight, book the back seat. There's a few reasons.
And fire out them reasons there.
So, first and foremost, when you get on the plane, if you're up at the front, dickheads put their suitcases up. You know the way, if you, like somebody would be in row fucking 13 and they think, all right, I'll put mine close to the front so I ain't getting out. My bag will be lucky, and then you can't put your bag above. So then you have to go backwards. But you ever try and wrestle with a fucking 70-year-old woman in the middle of the aisle? Like, she's like, I need to get my purse. You know, so you're like pushing past her to get yours to get back out. So book the back, right?
That's one good reason.
You get on first because you just go to the back door. Come on, put your bag, get your bag on. 2 toilets are at the back, not one. So you know, there's no kitchen. 2 toilets at the back. Also, you have never seen a plane reverse into a mountain.
What about getting off then? I suppose it'd be quicker getting off the plane. Oh, and this is what you told me. You were like, we're sitting here, so you're first on, first off. It's brilliant. Sit at the back here. We were the last people off.
There was a hole in my plan that they didn't put the stairs at the back.
Right. So we were the last people off
last
the
people.
plane. But it did have its benefits.
Could use the toilet again.
No.
What?
We then get in and...
So we were flying our last. We were in the cockpit.
The pilot seen the both of us, and they're like, "Oh, you guys from the Bear Podcast show."
Knew Sean was the handsome stranger, the big blogger.
Oh, and he's like, he's coming in.
Or vlogger. What are you? You're a vlogger.
I have no idea what it is. Vlogger.
What is? If you take videos and you blog, you're a vlogger,
right.
And you're a big massive vlogger. So no, we were in the cockpit yesterday and we had a bit of crack. We got here, we had a few pints, very sensible last night. Went for a wee feed, and today we're recording. We're recording tomorrow as well. We'll get on tomorrow, so that'll be next week's podcast.
But we haven't talked about your lovely shirt.
I brought this one with me, and then Sean felt underdressed and he had to go and get his.
No. I was told
5 minutes later.
I was told I had to go and get a shirt. It had to be fitting to what you were wearing.
Do you hear?
So this is what I come out with.
Do you hear the wee, like airplane and all in the background? You know, we're out. Look, guys, we're out as the paparazzi. So yes, Sean, what do you think of your shirt? Look, I think you're looking powerful. Well,
aye, it'll do.
So Sean, we're big TikTokers.
Oh,
wait, listen. Oh baby, it's me just topping up my hangover cure recording. We strawberry and lime. So Sean, you know the way we're big TikTokers. Big in TikTok. Oh, wait, maybe 20,000 people.
The whole thing's getting shut down though.
I found out TikTok's spying on us.
Heard it in Joe Rogan.
It's in your phone.
Yes. And what have they got access to?
They can go in and check your WhatsApp. They can see what your WhatsApps are.
What are you worried about in WhatsApp then?
I'm not massively worried, but what I would say is it's 100% sure that TikTok knows the cardboard and the sheriff's a pervert. None of them messages I sent. They sent them to me.
A pair of glasses?
No, we're good, Jim.
Thank you.
Cheers.
No, we're good. Good man.
Genuine Nike too. Genuine Nike hats. That boy is an authorised reseller of Louis Vuitton and Nike.
And he brings them to you.
I got a pair of Prada off him. 2 for 10. Pradas. Genuine Prada too, you told me. And he's a mobile seller.
So hey, we're talking about phones. What about this alert that we're all going to be getting?
I seen a TikTok or something about that. What is that?
April. So this is what is going about. We're going to get a message to our phones, like an emergency message or whatever it is, and you can't access anything on your phone unless you accept it. So they borrow your phone. So they borrow your phone.
Who? The government?
Government, yeah.
That's the shit. People are fucking being more and more controlled. That's the same shit as COVID. And so they can actually go on my phone and block my phone.
Yeah. But I think there's ways around it. So you go on and stop emergency messages coming through to your phone. So just take that setting off.
Because what are they declaring? Fucking nuclear war or something?
I think it's like a test. They're trying to do some test. Well, that's what they're saying.
No, well, fuck that. I'm turning that off. But that reminds me of, do you remember when the iPhones first came out and you could get them jailbroke?
Yes.
Do you remember the one you got?
Which one? Oh.
Sean got an iPhone right at the start and he goes, here, man, I'm getting an iPhone and they're fucking, this boy's selling them. They're cheap. They're fucking jailbroke.
It was like a tenner.
And when it started up, a pineapple showed up with the bite out of it. It wasn't even an apple, it was a pineapple. And it was like touchscreen. And you'd have had to beat it with a big pen to get it to work. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was funny. But
went in the bin.
But do you remember you could have got the phones jailbroke and then you could download whatever you wanted on it?
Yeah, good old days.
Back in the day, boy.
Yeah.
So they're now going to tell me what I can and can't do with my phone.
Exactly.
Go on your phone and disable it. Mm-hmm. So what happens if there is a fucking emergency and you need to ring somebody?
I don't think it's about ringing people. I think it's that they can put a block on everybody's phone if you've got that setting on.
Because we're getting more and more controlled, you know. Cashless society. Fucking locked up in your home. Everyone said, oh, that couldn't happen. So they stopped travel. They stopped fucking people going out and
during COVID.
Too much control, Sean.
That's what I hear.
I'm a rebellious sort of guy. I'll be turning that off.
And then travel coupons, I think, is coming out as well.
What do you mean travel coupons?
So you will get so many coupons. You get 1,000 coupons in the year.
Right.
So you travel. You've used so many of them coupons. Once they're done, they're done. And then you have to pay a higher rate to be fit to travel. I think it's all to do with the atmosphere.
To stop
ozone layer.
So let me get this fucking straight.
To stop people traveling as much.
No, Sean, that's bullshit.
Aye.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
So
you driving around your car, just taking it for a wee cruise up the street.
I'm very green, but
That'll be clocked.
no.
100% it's coming.
Oh, no way.
It's coming soon.
No way.
We'll all be spinning around with electric scooters.
So, Sean, we came out to Spain because obviously I'm fluent in Spanish. You know.
Yeah, how did that go?
What do you mean? How to go?
Bilingual.
Bilingual.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I just seamlessly slip in and out of English.
I just you know, sitting there and fire a few words out.
So Alejandro lifted us yesterday from the airport. Me and Alejandro had a good old chat. He's a Bird Podcast fan now.
He put her up.
I got him subscribed on Spotify there yesterday on the road home. But that's what I'm saying. I could probably actually record this in Spanish, you know. Hola, to the followers out there.
So what you were saying was...
So Sean, sometimes I start speaking Spanish to these people, and Sean, I have to translate for Sean. I'm like, look, Sean, so what I was actually saying to that guy there was, La cuenta por favor. I was asking for the bill, but calm down there, Sean. Sorry. So we're out. Have you tips for when you're travelling, Sean?
Tips for when I'm travelling?
Yeah.
Make sure you pack the right shirt, first and foremost.
Do you not like your shirt?
That's all right.
So, Sean, we're out here. The Bird Podcast is on tour out in Spain.
And how is this possible?
You've made the big
jump. Yeah.
Do you want to tell the people?
Yeah. Worked in a place over 21 years.
Most of your life?
Yeah. So
From
I'm 38 now.
Were you 16 when you started?
Yeah. So like it's a long time to be in
One employment. But
the reason behind that is, you know, it was a good place to work. You know, I enjoyed the crack with all the lads. Well, some of them. Enjoyed the crack. You know, I was always getting paid a good wage.
Yeah.
And that's just it. I was being looked after. Was moving up the ladder. You know, every opportunity, you know, I took it.
Yeah.
And I started moving up through the ranks.
Your management?
Aye. But it got to the point, it was just going through the motions. It was like the hamster on the wheel. The wheel was turning and I could have done it till I retired.
Yeah.
I could have sat there in that job comfortable and waited till I was 65, retired, and then that's it. But just the more and more this last year, me and you've been talking, doing the podcast and whatnot, it was more like, when am I going to take the jump?
Yeah.
And then it just, this year, I think was the point. It was like, let's do it.
Because a lot of people like be listening to this and think, oh Jesus, that's a bit handy, and they pop in and they're recording her and that's them done, and don't actually genuinely realise the work that's involved in it.
It's a full-time job.
But not only that, that's not the only aspirations we have here. Is just the podcast. We're gonna be bringing a bit more.
But see, just being away from work now,
It's
like you start thinking more about what you've been doing for this past 20 years, and it's fine. But the more I thought about it, I was like, why are you paid a wage? You're paid a wage to forget your dreams.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. You know, I was driving a nice car, house, fit to go on holidays. You know, if I fancy going out at the weekends, I was fit to go out at the weekends, you know, for a drink by date. It was nice.
And we're not saying to anyone there that at all that, you know, if you have aspirations or you have ambition, sometimes, you know, you have children, you're married, and you need to provide in your home. But if you have dreams or ambitions of stuff you want to go on and do, sometimes you can get comfortable, and it's less scary to make a big move to go and do something and say, right, I have always been the mindset like, the fuck it, let's go. I would go 100 miles an hour or something. But you made that decision. We're now full time doing the podcast.
But even on that, what I'm saying there about the dreams,
yeah,
you're paid a wage to forget your dreams and fulfill somebody else's. So I fulfilled somebody else's dreams, my boss.
Yeah.
And hold my hands up, I'm happy for him to fulfill his dreams, and I'm only away from the job now, and that's why I'm thinking that way. He's fulfilled his dreams, and he was paying me the wage for me to forget mine.
Yeah.
And I'm now at the point that I wanted to do something different in my life, and that's why we're sitting here now. But I think that stems from school as well. You go in the morning, the children go in the morning, and they go into the classroom to sit down and do their work.
Yeah.
And their foreman the teacher Sorry, the teacher.
Foreman. That was a Freudian slip.
Right, and then the hooter goes off. I mean, the bell rings at 10 o'clock to go for your lunch, and then you're back in again, and then 1 o'clock, and then it's home time, and you're locked in the whole day. Kids are locked in for the whole day. So like school is setting them up to go and work in the factories or whatever it needs done.
Yeah, right. Well, look, listen. And
I don't get. Hey,
and
they need taught.
Aye, but also, you know, so not that we're sounding like dicks and we're saying, oh, well, we're doing this or blah blah. Because I see these guys that come on, and we've had so many. Like we've had lifestyle coaches and mindset coaches and people that are very positive and they talk about going on and being ambitious and following your dreams, but it's not to come across conceited and we're saying, you know, if you're working, and we understand that, and we appreciate that, because that's what we're saying. You were there and have, but now we have this. Well, the two of us have set out goals of what we want to do with the podcast. We're enjoying it. We're having good crack.
Big things on the horizon, though.
The morning show.
Yes, let the people know.
Move over, Phil and Holly. We're in town.
So, right. So are we?
You're Holly. Am I Phil? Does that make me Phil? No. Moving swiftly on.
Yes.
Anyway.
So what's the morning show going to be called?
Scully and Bear Show.
Scully and Bear Show.
I think that.
So
it's got a ring.
Does that mean we're going to change the AKA Handsome Stranger to Scully?
Well, I think it just suits better, doesn't it?
What do you think? Are we going to throw that out to the world?
I'll throw that out. So he's now Sean.
So the intros will be.
Because like even from your club, holy fuck, somebody's getting attacked by a dog, boy. This is the problem when you're live, boy. You can't work with animals and children, you know. All right, there, boss. Hola, Juan. Hello.
Hola.
See. So what he actually says was, "Have you got a problem?" I'm fucking security. Sort that man out. So, Sean, big content creators now.
Yes. So what is coming up the rest of the day?
We've been fucking.
No, but we skipped over that very quickly there. So the morning show.
The morning show.
Delve in a little wee bit more.
So a couple of mornings a week, me and Sean will be going live to annoy you all live, so you can all interact, get on, message us, and even FaceTime, bring a few wingnuts on in the morning. Cover all the hot topics, have a bit of crack, and we have our new studios. We have our new offices. We've been
busy.
We've been doing big moves.
Yeah.
We'll keep them all updated. But this here one was a bit of crack. We're only gonna this show's only a short one. We're gonna have a bit of crack. Join us on the Spanish adventure. But we had a meeting before we came out here, and we said that we're big vloggers now, video loggers. What is it? You blog and it's video makes you a vlogger. Aye, that's it. So we're well.
You're now a vlogger.
So we've been walking around with GoPros and whatnot, and we look like pure dicks walking through the street, and the cameras following us.
But you're used to that.
Love it.
I mean, being a dick.
What a wank. Sean loves the camera, loves it. But
no,
he had to go and get that shirt this morning, and it took him 30 minutes. 30 minutes we were in that shop.
I just wanted to pick the right one.
And but we're gonna. Jet skis were mentioned.
Yes, so we're going to hire jet skis.
It's a hard job we have, you know. Sitting here in the sun, having a few drinks.
It's all about content, though.
We're content.
Yeah, we're trying to film.
Content creators.
Yeah, so we're going to get the jet skis out today.
Are we going to have a race?
100%. We're going to have a race.
You know how good I'll be on one of
Well, we'll have the GoPros with us.
You know how good I'll be on one of bubbles.
Oh, we have the drone. Aiden, we're going to get the drone up. No, Aiden's going to be on a jet ski.
Yeah. The Face for Radio is going to jet ski.
Can you drive?
We'll video that. What's the worst thing can happen?
Don't even say it. I can see 101 things going wrong.
Look, Sean,
Jinx.
I've told you before, if there's petrol in it, I can drive it.
There's something else you had said as well. If there's petrol in it, I can drive it.
That's it. That's all I said. That's it. There's nobody said it was. So edit. But right, look, listen. We're jet skiing. We are recording podcast tomorrow. We're down here in the port.
Hola.
How you doing? So what he's saying there was hello. For you that don't speak Spanish, I think they were English. Sean's firing out his Spanish lingo too.
Oh, aye.
Boys, we are getting. If you're listening to this and you're not watching it, the looks we are getting here as people walking past.
Aye, so we're in the marina.
They're like, who are these two rock stars? or wankers. Well, they're saying one of the two. And I don't know what punta means, but I've, maybe I'm fluent in Spanish. I know what punta means. So a few of them have said that too. But anyway, guys, we're going to move on. We're going to wrap up this show. We've had a bit of crack here. This was only a wee short one this week. And next week we are going to have a Royal Marine Commando.
Yeah. Nando.
Nando. So is it Brando or Nando? Nando. As in like
it
chicken.
sounds
As in like Nando chicken. But I ain't saying that, am I?
not a chance.
I think I cut the fuck out of you. So,
but hey, whenever we're here, right? I know it's not a holiday. We're working
flat
the crack
to the mat.
But,
wait there, 2 seconds. Stop. I take a wee drink here. What were you saying there? Flat out.
So, is there anything that has been like a funny story on holidays? Crazy shit happened on holidays. I'll give you an example, right? So, I was in Ibiza.
I've never been to Ibiza.
Have you not?
No.
Right, so...
It looks unreal.
Look, you know all about it.
You know Joel that done a bit of video with us before?
Yes.
Joel messaged me when he seen us out here and he's like, Ibiza has to be next to this. And I was like, you know what, Joel? I think I'll have to do that. Like,
yeah.
Work's work. I'll have to go where I have to go. Like.
Ibiza is the only place I've ever been, and I don't even know what nightclub I was at. Got a taxi outside to take us to the hotel, and got outside the hotel. And I was like, how much is that? And he's like, you got any E-tablets? He was looking paid. He was looking paid in E-tabs. And I was like, I'm sorry, I've only got cash for you, buddy.
I'm sorry.
I was like, so how much is it?
International drug dealer.
Exactly.
But that's the
mental.
That's the image I get of Ibiza. You go there, but actually,
glow sticks,
actually
painted up.
Louis and Joel's out there, and you see snaps. It looks unbelievable. It looks beautiful.
It was cheaper. It was cheaper to take drugs than it would be to buy her in a drink.
Seriously,
mental.
Jesus Christ. Well, I remember when we were cubs, we went to Turkey. Do you remember that? 18 years of age, me and Sean have been saving off the Turkey. And when you're young, you think, I need as much time as I can get. So we booked 2 weeks. First mistake we made. Booked 2 weeks.
It was a long time.
Got on the plane. And Sean started fucking throwing up everywhere. Food poison.
Are you sure? Was that not whenever I got burnt?
No. We went.
Oh, yes, that's right.
We went out.
For
me,
nearly a full week.
80, and I headed out.
Yeah.
The first 3 days, Sean was sick as a part. But we were young. We weren't that stupid. We had booked like a gold insurance thing where we paid extra for insurance because we'd never been away. And everyone goes to Turkey now. But back then, when you flew into Izmir, it was a military airport. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like it is now where it's a popular destination. We went to Kusadasi. What did you call the Jardin or the Gardine or something?
I have no idea.
So we went to this hotel. Sean was sick as part. Spent the first 3 days in bed and we were like, fuck, this man's not well. Like we actually got the doctor out, remember? And he says, you've had food poison and we're going to send him home. And then he turned around and Sean was like, look, just give me a day or two and I'll see how I'm in. So me and his brother 80 went out and we're 18, so 80's younger than me, so well, I was maybe 19, he was 18. So we went out in the piss, right? Sean goes to us the next morning. Fuck, you two woke the whole entire hotel up coming in. Mal in your mouth you were singing. And I was like, what do you mean what I was singing? And I was like, anyone see my Tyrone jersey? And Sean was like, you didn't have a top on when you come in. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, Burr Ballet. In the door you come, singing the top of your voice, 4 a.m, woke hotel. And I was like, but what did I do with my top? I was wearing a Tyrone topper. And then I was alright.
So then,
and you know the best
later,
of it is,
a couple of days later, I felt...
No, you had felt better. So I had put my hand in my pocket and I had this cheeky Charlie's thing and it says Irish breakfast, blah, blah, blah. And me and 80 walked around the corner and your mum was like, 80! Owen, my man! And I was like, who in under fuck is this boy? So next thing I was like, how's it going? And he's like, oh man, we had some crack the other night. And I was looking at 80 and 80 was looking at me because the two of us were thinking the exact same thing. Who the fuck is this boy?
I know where this story is going.
Next thing was, we're sitting in the bar and Sean was eating his breakfast and Sean just spat out the sausage and burst out laughing. I goes, what are you laughing at? He goes, look up, man.
Your
and
t-shirt.
I looked up and there was a Tyrone jersey pinned to the roof of the bar and wrote on the front of it, it looked like a 3-year-old and wrote it the handwriting and said 80 and Owen was here. I had donated my Tyrone jersey to the roof of this bar and decided it would be a good idea.
Burr Bally's.
I'll head home with a kebab here. Burr Bally. Turkey was good crack. But back then, right, like this is the difference when we first went out because we went a few years later. But we first went out and it was like lira, but it was millions. So things, £1, I always remember this, £1 got you 3.5 million lira. And a bottle of Efes, which is lovely, or the Turkish beer, was 1.5 million. It was like 40p, 45p or something I worked it out as. But back then, there was the foot and mouth. Do you remember the foot and mouth? That's how long ago that was.
Aye.
You couldn't get a T-bone at home.
That's right.
They were banned.
Right,
so we went down to this place called Roses Beach. It was like, some used to be listening to know it now. It's probably more commercial, but back then there was no, it wasn't like it was a big happening place. It was very quiet and a lot of Turkish. We went down there. We sat and had a big feed. We drank. We were drinking with starters, with mains, with dessert. But I remember ordering a T-bone. I was like, can't get a T-bone at home. So I ordered a big T-bone. That was all right. The bill came £8 each.
Lethal.
Ate like kings, drank all night, and it was £8.
Well, hey, my holiday didn't cost me a fortune because we were laying around the pool and mind the woman come over and she was like, oh, a massage. Anybody want a massage? And right. I had no money with me. So I was like, here, I'll go
Wait there to pour a drink there. So tough gig. Tough gig. Go on ahead.
Wait there and I get a drink.
Hey, security.
Security.
Patrick's got one job, right? And just while we're recording this, good man.
Thank you very much.
So Patrick's one job here is security, and halfway through recording this, some Swedish woman just kicked one of the fucking cameras over. Patrick's like, I nearly dropped her. Her 60 years of age, I nearly dropped her for kicking over the camera. But anyway, Sean, you were saying
back to Turkey. Aye, so the massage. So laying at the side of the pool.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sean arrived down, still cut from the night before, and he goes, "Mal, I have no wallet in me." I said, "Well, sure, that's all right." But the two of us, actually, I remember having the conversation. We'd been away that many times. Conversation was,
your money was my money.
How much are we going away with? And
we just balanced it out.
We just all went home broke. But it was one of those, if something happened your flight, you were fucked because you wouldn't have had a penny in the airport. You were like, you know.
So I would have had my wallet down one day. We'd emptied it. Yours down the next day. We emptied it.
Well, we were
simple as that.
But we did see how we emptied it. So Sean came walking along, still full from the night before. Hey, do you want a drink? Do you want a drink? Everyone loves Sean around the pool because Sean was buying drink, flat out. But Sean didn't have his wallet with him. And they were all laughing because these ones knew that he didn't. Sean was ordering away and he was like, here, man, give me your wallet there. I buy these people a drink. And then this woman come along and goes, do you want a massage? So Sean disappears for a fucking massage for an hour in this hot thing. And I'm pretty sure.
But it didn't last an hour.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was like a Thai one.
It was not a Thai one.
She milked him like a cow. He was bent over and she milked his udder.
Right. That is not going into it.
Keep that in, Ian. Anyway.
Right. I went in for a massage, lay down, relaxed, and then fell asleep.
Is that all?
And then you come with a bucket of water, you bollocks.
I still don't think that went down well because, as you said, it was yours was mine, but I didn't get a massage as well. I think you got a better run at that. But Turkey was good. Do you remember the amount? I come home with some amount of designer gear. I didn't know that there was official Ralph Lauren dealers out in Turkey. You
came home battered, to be fair. We were on the boat trip. You came back very, very red. You're a hellboy.
Back when I was a cub, I would have took a bit of soup, like, right? So I decided that I would go on a booze cruise. We went on a booze. Do you remember that day? Went on the booze cruise, fell asleep. Couldn't work out why I got such a bad burning, but one part of my back had like it wasn't burnt, like a complete line up it. And it was for ages till I realised I fell asleep beside the mast of the boat. And I got burnt real bad. And I remember down saying to your man, Jesus, I've got a wild bad burn. You get some yogurt on it. Your man, do you remember he sent the girls up?
That's right, aye.
A group of these English girls come up and goes, oh yeah, I hear you got a bad burn. John was like, oh yeah, I got a wee bit of touch of sunburn. Now I'm lying in the other room, can hardly move because I am burnt stupid. Sean seen these girls coming up with this yogurt and they were going to apply it. And Sean was like, oh Jesus, I have a wee bit of sunburn there. And he lay down and let these girls put natural yogurt on.
It was 3rd-degree burnt.
Anyway, Turkey was a good spot.
It's good crap.
But we're out here now. We're in Spain. The sun's shining. People are walking by. Hola! And I'm firing my Spanish out. So what I said for all yous that don't know Spanish, I said hello. bilingual. Anyway, we're out in Spain now. We're going to head out in the jet skis tomorrow with Nando chicken. Too hot, too spicy. So that is the crack. That's what's coming up. But just before we sign off, what about Sean's sauna stories on tour?
Right.
Sean, right? I can never say this. Sean's sauna stories on tour. Say that really fast.
Sean's sauna stories.
I don't know. I always say somehow I end up saying.
So a wee story.
Sauna stories.
A wee story from the sauna.
Yeah. And
Right.
folks, if you have a story,
send them in. There's nothing as nice as sitting in the sauna and listening to people's wee stories.
Well, do people just open up to you?
Oh my God! Right. So this one guy, right. So it started off very serious. He said to me, he says, I had to go to the doctors there last week.
Why do people like open up to you like that?
I don't know. I just
when you're like just sitting in your shorts, sitting there steaming away, they just decide to like offload to you.
They're sitting there and they start sweating.
Right,
It's like,
guys, if
I need to
I'll
start
say
talking.
before we go into this, and I've interrupted you because I want to hear this, but if you have funny stories, embarrassing stories, your mate's done something stupid or thing, fire it in till we'll put it up below here. Aidan do his magic till Scully here, and we will get it on to Sean's sauna stories. Right, Sean, hit me.
So the guy, he started off very serious. He was like, a couple of weeks back, was passing a bit of blood, out of his.
Why the fuck would that be a conversation you have? Right, go on ahead.
Well, let me get in it. Right, so he was passing a bit of blood, and I was like, Jesus, is everything okay? And he's like, look, the doctor's done a few scans, everything seems fine, but he gave me a suppository. These are these big massive tablets.
Was he get, as in NAS?
Yep. And I was like, so the tablet that doesn't go in your mouth, it goes up the other end. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I went home to the wife, and he says, I just said to the wife, the doctor says that I need to get somebody to put these up my ass. Right? So the next thing, he says, the wife, she took out the cling film and started wrapping it around her fingers, getting her hand prepped.
Right, okay.
But he says the next thing was she took out the phone and put on the light on the phone. Right?
Wait there, let me get this hit, right? This guy's in the sauna and he's telling you that his girlfriend or his wife is going to put this up his ass. Yeah, right?
But this isn't.
But
this is all she cleans the fingers.
So no rubber gloves, like so.
No, she couldn't.
She had to improvise.
Just improvise. Well, she was in the right place. She was in the kitchen while this was all going on, right?
No.
So he says he dropped the togs.
He's banned over and she's with iPhone. She's with iPhone with the camera.
iPhone down, right?
No.
So he dropped the togs anyway in the kitchen, bent over the countertop, and the next thing she's down on the phone.
And the phone fingers.
So she puts the tablet up his ass. Right?
Did he enjoy it?
It gets better, right? So puts it up his ass, right? And the next thing she's away pulling off the cling film to throw it into the bin, right? And he said, I just burst out laughing, and the wife was like, "What are you laughing about?" He says, I could have done that myself. The doctor didn't say I needed anyway at all. He had the wife down there doing the job that he could have done himself. Legend.
But more legend is that this happened, right? He thought this was hilarious that he got his wife to get down and shove this up his ass. But not only was he content enough with this had happened and he got it over, he decided that when he's going to tell you.
But you're saying that as in tell you. The sauna was packed. There's 15 men in it. He was telling this story to the 15 lads.
Oh,
hey, the place erupted.
Hey, pain in the whole lot.
But hey, it's a good wee story.
Well, that's the crack.
Well,
it's behind him now. I tell you what we'll do. Just before we go, and no more bum jokes, we'll turn the other cheek.
Right, that's enough.
Now, if you meet Sean in the sauna and you decide you're going to volunteer a story, but you know that it might be told on this, tell it anyway. We'll keep the
100%.
We'll keep the names out, and we'll not mention who it was. But that there was. No, I'm only joking. I don't know who that was. But anyway, guys, look, listen. We have stuff to do, very important stuff to do now, Sean. So we're going to say no. It's up his hole. Anyway, we've stuff on the horizon here.
And
jump on, but make sure to subscribe.
Exactly. Thanks for listening. Subscribe.
But all joking aside, guys, we're making these and we're having the crack here, but we can't do this without the feedback. So jump on Spotify, give it a wee review there. Jump on iTunes, give it a wee review. Hit subscribe, and we'll keep you up to date.
Do you want to close it out with a wee bit of Spanish there?
So, mucho gracias. Hasta luego.
Done.
Boom. Generally, what could go wrong?
Would you stop fucking practicing?